Okay, so there seems to be like a 10-minute pre-roll on this opening, and it's been running, but I've been doing other stuff in setup.
This is my boomstick.
So I haven't been watching it. But it's here. It's going if I like unlock the menu.
Pancakes.
Like it's there. But in the interest of, bringing everybody in together and getting us all started on the same page, I'ma just say reset and we're all going to watch it together. But never mind that. Hi everybody. Welcome. Welcome back to All Requests All the Time. It's Lufia 2 today. I didn't realize that Natsume made the Lufia games. I cannot tell you the amount of time in my life that how much time in my life I spent with Natsume just being the Harvest Moon company and not knowing anything else that they made. But there's some stuff. So, reset. Also, apparently, Taito. So I played like maybe 5 to 10 hours of Lufia 1 and then dropped it. Like years ago, like 20 years ago. Hi, Sari. Thank you for finding my content entertaining.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything. I have found purpose. Also, hi, I love you. Thank you for bringing us entertaining content. Lesson 3.
I'm happy to do it. I just stream every day and I entertain myself. And the fact that it happens to also entertain you is just a bonus. Master, Aram, I would like to ask you something. Yes, sir. Who should rule, us or not us? Obviously us. Well, why you ask this? Judgment time with no E, with the dual blade has come. The dual blade, is the dual blade doing a thing? Would you go? Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Less than 3. Yeah, this is all completely new to me. I don't know what's happening. I do know that this is a prequel to the first game, and I know that the Sinistrals were like the big bads from 1. So I don't know it, like, I always... Oh. Okay. Welcome to the Triforce Islands. The Triforce Archipelago? So I don't know if this is like, are you playing as the Sinistrals? Is this like the villain backstory where you come to understand their point of view? Or is it just the story of them coming to power? Monsters in the North Cave, are you going away again? That's my job. Be careful. I'll be alright. Oh god, he's dead. You always say that, but I always worry. I'll get him, but you have to buy him. Yeah, I will. Okay, see ya. Oh, Guy. Hilda and Guy. What's up? That's not how you... I object. Jesse with a Y. Is Jesse with a Y like Time Wanderer 22? Wait, hold up. Hold on, did I miss something? What's a guy thing that women don't understand? But I was told this was how I would get women. I don't understand. I guess Lemmy's a crybaby. Well, she is crying, but you can't. Hey, it's Tara. Hey, that's the sprite I almost used in Link to the Past before the seed broke. Okay, so they're big wrong, but my father says okay for girl. It's okay for everyone to cry. Yo, that's quite an accent you have in your hair. No one who could beat me. Hey, there's monsters everywhere. Chill good, man. Off to space with you. Okay, where are the monsters? North Labyrinth. Here, I'm gonna set this debate to rest in chat, okay? This is how you do it. Done. Conversation over. Is that man going to go off to invent a boat after seeing a boat? And she's never... What is it with 90s, like... He sank a ship with his last one. Great. What is it with, like... 90s anime and video games where you have to have the quirky fuck-up inventor? This is a shit ton of characters. We are being introduced to a shit ton of characters. I've not pressed a button yet. Worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. Oh, hey, Mom. Hey is aware of everything. That's cool, though, Ram. Memory be like that sometimes. Which of us is really transient on Earth? mean, there's two settings. There's the quirky inventor that fucks things up, but occasionally makes something that's, like, super important for later. And then there's just, like, the genius that just makes whatever you need to be made because it needs to be made. The Bulma. Well, like, evidently, starting is free. That's true. Some things do have both. Yeah, Luca, she of the, like, oh yeah, I accidentally made a time portal went 1,300 years in the future and then just fixed a robot by hitting it with a wrench. Because I just know how to do that, because whatever. Technology obviously doesn't change in 1,300 years, so the things that I know about science would not have changed at all in that much time. I can fix him because the plot demands it. I could start, but I feel like I feel like hitting you all with the file select music is important. It's just like, it would be like if someone who was involved with inventing the first printing press was teleported into the future and was just like, oh, I'm a smart inventor, so I now also know how to fix computers and the internet. Like, no, at a certain point, technology has advanced too far and your skills are no longer applicable. Anyway. We do not change names in this house. Unless it comes up blank. Unless the name thing is blank and you just have to come up with one. Like, if you give me a name that is suggested, I will just use that name. Yeah, you home? Hey, Maxim, how was work today? I got 6 jellies. It'll be 120 gold pieces. Hold on, I said 6. That comes to 180. Okay, are we charging 20 per or 30 per? Hey. Monsters cheap these days. Okay, we are starting off our JRPG with shop haggling. Yeah, more monsters every day. It's spooky. Well, I appreciate it. I am a monster hunter. I'd lose my job without him. Have you thought about getting a real job? Maxim, have you thought about leaving the freelancing life and getting a real job? No. What does that even mean? Well, the most important thing is that you have to stay in the same place, do the same thing all the time without changing. It has to be boring and crush your soul. Like a shop. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. No, I got... Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, what shop would we run, Tia? Oh, I'm like... She's... Yeah! She's like shouldering in a little bit. No! That's stupid. Who would do that? That's a dumb idea. Yeah, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. It wasn't... Do better. That's a nerd job for nerds, nerd. You say something? Shut up, here's your money. And with that, we have control of the character. Hey, you sure you're alright? She seems fine. Be careful, do you need anything? Oh! Oh, hey! Okay! I also, I remember following a fan translation group that was working on Star Ocean, and I played it like the day that translation patch dropped, and I played it like for a week and did not understand how it worked at all. Yo, shoutouts to a game that will sell you a frying pan as a weapon. I appreciate that. All right, well, I don't know. I can hear Tia's voice from here. Apologize to her later. But I'm a dumb anime pro tag and I don't know what I did. Why doesn't Tia get upset at anyone except you? Doesn't she like you? Ah, child. Someday, you too will find someone to get into a toxic, unappreciative relationship with, where there's no actual appreciation for one another, just raw passion and yelling at each other. Hey, Nova. I see that you, Oh, and by raw passion, I mean her for him and him for anything else. Yeah, my secret to dungeon fighting sometime soon. Okay. So, Nova, I see you watched the Nintendo Direct. Spell do you want? What? Interesting. You right, Cell. You're right. Her flirting with him does not mean that he has to show her any affection whatsoever. If he's not interested, that's totally fine. I'm actually really excited about Advance Wars. I never played Advance Wars, but I always wanted to. I always heard it was really good, and I love, like, you know, grid-based tactics games. So that was always one where it's like, man, I should really, like, find a way to play that at some point, and I just never did. And now there's a really good way to play it. So, that's kind of exciting. No formal training, yet your swordsmanship is good. You must have natural talent. A red ball of light shoot into the Northern Sea last night. I wonder what it was. Honestly, Metroid Dread is like the only... That is like the absolute only trailer I haven't watched yet. See, Nova, it has nothing to do with you specifically. It has to do with the fact that the Nintendo Direct was the only show at all of E3 that had purchasable games in it. I mean, and Devolver. We literally did actually buy Demon Throttle after the Devolver show. But like everything else is just like, oh, all right, those games exist and look like garbage, and no one asked for that. Why are we doing this show? Why is this even here? And then Nintendo Direct is like, here's 10 things you want. Granddaughter Daisy is going to Sundleton to buy some wonderful tea. Wonderful tea. Slightly oversteeped, but still good. Church! Been around for some time. I know many things. What do you wish to know? About save? Save at clerics or in dungeons? Never seen this save thing. Can you eat save? Buy spells at a spell shop. You don't learn spells naturally in battle. There's a spell shop in town. Okay. That's how very Final Fantasy 1 of you. About help? Help in battle or when you buy items. Place a cursor at a spell or item. Press the X button. Help is great when you don't know the effects of a spell. Cool. Save. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about about who the new Smash character would be, and I didn't say it, so I can't. This is a death flag. This is the death flag right here. Protagonist starting town, peaceful, quiet, loved ones. Everyone talking about how nice it is there. It's already on fire. It's already on fire. The sparks are beginning somewhere. Okay, great. Okay, this is a good time to show you my secret techniques for fighting in dungeons. If you're in a dungeon south of here, great. Hey, shoutouts to Game for giving you tutorial. I think we've basically talked to everyone in here, so... Okay. Not bad. I was gonna say, we got overworld battles, or is this a Chrono Trigger map? Talk to cow. Okay. Yay! Hey, I like that, letting you know how close you are to the next level. That's nice. That's a nice touch. All right, we were supposed to go to the south dungeon, not the north stairs. So we'll just stay away from that, thanks. Okay, well. It's a jelly. Do we have any? We do not. Okay, jelly not crazy threatening. I mean, as long as we've come this far, I might as well level up before we enter the dungeon, right? Can't hurt. Desert enemy? So yeah, about Smash. Are there only enemy spawns north of the bridge? Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Charred Newt. Healing on level up? No. Not even healing proportionate to your max HP. Secret Skills Cave. Yeah, so I was thinking they might put another fighting game character in there, and Tekken was kind of the first one on my mind. Because that's like the only other, that's like the other big Japanese fighting game franchise, aside from like Guilty Gear, but I don't think they would do Guilty Gear because it's too anime. And relatively new, whereas like, you know, Street Fighter, Tekken, and King of Fighters are kind of like the classics. So I was like, they might do another fighting game character, and if they do another fighting game character, I feel like it would be Tekken. I didn't expect it to be Kazuya. I would have thought Heihachi. But evidently not. Well, sort of though. But I can't claim to calling that early because, you know, I had the opportunity to be like, but what if a fighting game character? And I didn't, so I can't say that I called it or anything. Yeah, I did actually take a long time. All right, secret techniques in the dungeon. Let the tutorial begin. Important thing is to learn the patterns of the monster's movement. Monsters move only when you move. Okay. Yeah, Jin would also... Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you could take Kazuya or Jin, like, in parallel. That intro trailer where Kazuya is just throwing all the characters off the cliff, though, is amazing. Alright, see a jelly right there. Why don't you try to get that jelly? Kill it! Sakurai never lets anything bad happen to Kirby. So I was like, we both called it. I was like, he's gonna throw Kirby off the ledge and Kirby's just gonna fly back up. Cause like, ending it with Kirby and he just kind of like has him by the head, just kind of tosses him. I was like, okay. Sakurai's gonna be like, no, not Kirby. That's our Maxim. Jellies are nothing for him. Don't get penisy. Some monsters are fast, gaining 2 steps to your 1. Any monsters in the room, don't let them surround you. Monsters only move only when you move. Stop and think. So, Necrodancer. But without rhythm. Here we use skills. Press the select button to display the skills you have. Select the skill you want to use. You have skill arrow, but you'll receive more. Arrows can freeze enemy movement for a while. Interesting. An enemy with an arrow is temporarily paralyzed. Bumping into a paralyzed enemy doesn't lead to a battle. Skills never run out. So you just shoot an arrow whenever you don't feel like fighting. Okay. Use your skills most in dungeon. You can fight with that jelly there, or you can use skill to stop its movement and not fight. Huh. I do actually want to fight it though. Because it's free. Ah, the old secret of mana menu. The ring grid. I wanted to at least try the skill. But at the same time, I was like, this is free XP. Why would I not take that? bridge gave way, but can be crossed when the switch is turned on. The switch is not within your reach. We're in trouble. Yeah, just hit it with an arrow. Cool. Okay. What's with the fire torch? Okay. But what's on the... But what about this door? Nothing. No.